So there has been this idea running through my head for a while now, and it has to do with motivation within photography and art. I get that feeling pretty much every single day, the old I do not want to go take photos today. And that feeling can be really strong, especially on days that I'm feeling really tired or I'm just busy or whatever other excuse I can come up with. This idea came from when I was losing weight last year. I've put a little bit of that back on this year. Now, in theory, this is a really simple idea, and it can be extrapolated to pretty much anything you're having trouble motivating yourself to do. Just do it anyway. Like I said, this is a really simple idea, and most of the time, admittedly, it's much easier said than done. For me last year, it was, I want a cheeseburger, and I don't want to be on a diet anymore. Just do it anyway. But this year, for me, it has meant, I don't want to go out and take photos today. Just do it anyway. And the craziest part is once you're out there taking photos, you're really glad you got out and started to take photos. Now, I know this is really easy for me to say down here in Florida when I have weather that is compatible with shooting pretty much all year. It's one of the reasons I moved here. But I didn't always live here, and I do know what it's like to create through the winter. It's fucking hard, especially when most of the content I shot was outside. Colorado was really difficult in this aspect for me, but there is always a way around it. Be it heavier jackets, shooting in a makeshift studio, I had to work around the weather and make my art however I could. But if I had been sitting around waiting to go out and make stuff just because the weather wasn't good, I could have been waiting months before I made anything. Most artists, myself included, tend to believe that the conditions to create have to be perfect. Otherwise, the art will suffer. But the ironic thing is, the artists who actually grow are the ones who can create under whatever conditions currently exist, be that internal or external. Weather, like inspiration, can come and go. And if you're waiting for the perfect conditions to make great art, you're going to end up doing more sitting around than actually making. When I used to make music, I was convinced that inspiration was the driving factor in my creativity. And I would sit around and do things that were not conducive or complementary to my creativity while I waited for the motivation and the inspiration to strike. Then when I did get inspired to make something, it would end up disappointing me because the skills that I had weren't living up to what I knew that I could make. And that's because I was waiting around for the perfect conditions and not practicing. That way, when the inspiration did hit, I would be able to have the skills to pull the song out of my head and bring it into the real world. But if I never practiced while I wasn't motivated, why would I expect to just magically have those skills when inspiration did finally hit? Looking back, it just doesn't make any sense, but when you're in the middle of it, it's hard to see that. Photography is the exact same way. If you are sitting around waiting for inspiration to hit you, so you can go out and bless the world with the work that you naturally produced, and every single time it's a masterpiece, feel free to ignore this. But if that's not you, because it certainly isn't me, please hear what I'm about to say. If you aren't going out and trying to solve the puzzle of why your photos don't look the same as the photos that you see in books or on Instagram or wherever, you're never going to be able to just magically make photos at that level. You have to go out and shoot fucking everything all the time. That way, when the moment that can make a good photograph sneaks up on you, you aren't without the skills to be able to produce it. But the only way you're ever going to be able to get those type of photos is to go out and practice. And if you never go out and practice, you'll never be as good of a photographer as you could be. And if that's what you want, you just want to be able to take decent photos, then realistically, that's not really that hard, especially with a phone. There's millions of ways to get decent photos. But if you want to take a truly great photo, a photo that stands up decades from now, it takes practice and lots and lots and lots of it. So if you've been thinking to yourself, I just don't want to go out and take photos today, just do it anyway. Just do it anyway. Just do it anyway. Because the skills that you will acquire by doing it even when you don't want to will unlock the ability to take advantage of the stars when they do align. Not to mention the ability to see those stars aligning more and more. Most people believe that creating great art depends on the right conditions. But really, the art depends on you showing up despite the conditions over and over and over again. And if you can do that, it separates you from the conditions and it lets you see the light through the storm. But if going out and taking photos feels like work, you should probably start asking yourself why that is. Because to me, photography is the only thing that has never felt like work. Drums, skateboarding, vlogging, DJing, making beats, producing EDM, all of that felt like work. But photography has never felt like that to me. I am compelled to do this every day. And every day I take a photo that I like. The more photos I take, the better I get, and I can see the progression. That means other people are seeing it too. But that doesn't happen unless you go out and shoot everything all the time, despite the conditions you currently find yourself in. So just do it anyway. In the long run, you'll be glad that you did. Hey guys, so I just realized this is probably going to be my last video of the year just because of how crazy my next month looks. So I just wanted to take a second and say thank you to everybody that has supported me this year. It really means a lot. We've more than doubled my subscribers this year, and that's insane. I've had a couple videos do really well. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. Also, everybody that's been supporting me over on Instagram, I really, really appreciate it. That platform has gone way beyond what I ever thought my photography could do. There are people supporting me there on a regular basis, and it just blows my mind daily. So thank you guys so much for all the support. I have some really cool ideas coming up for the next year. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you guys next year. Bye.